Oh, hi. Sorry we're late. Meant to have this up this morning. Not gonna happen. Anyway, welcome to The Good News. High dollar graphics right there. This is the second episode. Got some pretty good feedback. Got a few good views. Thought I'd go for another round. We're gonna start by talking about some animals because I love animals. We're gonna go to Texarkana and talk about a vicious dog that was on the loose. That's what the dispatch call was. Officer Frost of the Texarkana Police Department responded, drove over to where the dog was, and hesitated for a moment. When he got out of his cruiser, he decided to leave the door open just in case he had to run to safety. He cautiously crept up to the dog and whistled at it. And it was at that moment that this large gold pit bull started wagging his tail and walked over, begging to be petted and loved on. After a few minutes of this, the dog, whose name was Gold, decided, I'm going to hop in your car, which is what he did. He ran over to the officer's car and jumped in and just made himself at home. I am not making this up. You can look it up on Facebook. He got a hold of animal control. They came by, picked the pit bull up, ran him over to the shelter, quick scan of his microchip. They were able to find out where his owners were. They got him home safe and sound. And on their Facebook page, the Texarkana Police Department said that this was a good moral, for a good story for everyone to remember. Not to judge every book by its cover, and not to judge a dog by its breed. Then, we're going to talk about another dog. This one was a lovely yellow Labrador. His name was Chief. Him and his owner were on their way to a convenience store. The lady parked the SUV they were in, decided, I'll just leave everything on and leave Chief in there with the AC, and she was just going to be a few minutes, ran inside to get a lottery ticket, and in just a few minutes time she came back out and there was no SUV and no Chief. After 24 hours of very intensive searching and phone calls and panic, they found the vehicle at a local cemetery, Chief cozy in the back seat just waiting to be found. Good stories. Then, this one's really fun. This comes from Providence, Rhode Island, and I'm just going to read exactly what the lady posted. Not sure exactly when it happened, but it's a really, really good story. So, here we go. A few years ago, I was circling the block to find a parking space so I could get a cup of coffee. A woman walking by flagged me down and said she would go in and get me the coffee if I gave her my order. I thanked her when she came out and went to hand her some money. She said the coffee was on her. She went on to explain that she had metastatic cancer, and with the time she had left, she wanted to do as many good deeds as possible. I shared with her that I was a cancer survivor, and the two of us, complete strangers, shared a hug and some tears. She asked me to pay it forward as often as possible, and ever since that day I make sure to do random acts of kindness for others as often as I can. Sarah Marcy of Providence, Rhode Island shared that. That's a great story and another very good lesson for everybody. And for our final story, we're going to go to New York City and visit a very special Girl Scout troop. Troop 6000. What makes them so special? Well, every single member is a homeless girl who lives in a shelter. Troop 6000 held their very first cookie selling season this year. And they set out with their goal of selling 6,000 boxes. And within just a few days, they matched that and went well beyond it. And now they're aiming to reach 12,000. And it's all thanks in part in a huge part to the Little Brownie Bakers, a division of the Kellogg Company who bakes all of the cookies for the greater New York City area, and the Kellogg's New York City Cafe, who let the girls set up a booth on the second floor of their building located in the touristy Union Square area, providing a safe place for the girls to sell their wares and raise money for their troupe. And if you want, you can donate to them by going to their page. It'll be in the description. But they're trying to raise money, and all of that money goes to the shelters where these girls are living and calling home. Very good cause. It's amazing the things that are happening out there. And now, just a little bit more time, I'm going to start something. I'm going to call it 20 seconds of gratitude. It's been 20 seconds rattling off all the things that I'm thankful for. So, here goes. And begin. I am thankful for this house. I am thankful that I have running water. I'm thankful I have plumbing. I have electricity. I have 2 vehicles. I have a ton of animals. Lots of animals. I live in a zoo. I have an amazing wife, an awesome daughter, and that's 20 seconds of gratitude. Thank you. This has been The Good News with Michael. If you would like to share some good news with me, feel free to email me at thegoodnewsuneed@gmail.com, and I will include your story in my next broadcast. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.